Good evening, Wixman Ray. It's evening where I'm at. It's almost 7:15 Central Time, 6:15 in the Mountain Time Zone, and 5:15 out on the West Coast, and for the Western or Pacific Time Zone, and then the Eastern Time Zone is approximately 8:15. We're just a few minutes before that, but that's good enough for what we're doing for today. So pretty active pattern. I got the RGB satellite here, um, so you're seeing a lot of clouds out across the west. We've got a system, an upper level trough of low pressure, bringing in a lot of moisture across from California, Nevada, Utah, into parts of Wyoming, Colorado, and even into the southwestern U.S. So got a lot of cloud cover. We got some showers with this. Some high mountain snow likely with that. And then you still got this remnant low up here that we talked about yesterday. It's starting to slowly weaken and move, just edging northward slowly. So we still got a lot of cloud cover up over, the northern Rockies into Idaho and Montana and North Dakota, and a little bit of precipitation with that. I think there might be some light snow, but nothing like yesterday. So it's kind of winding down. Back here we've got a wave kind of moving through the upper atmosphere with southern wave down here. So we're seeing a lot of thunderstorms develop from Iowa, eastern Iowa into western Iowa into eastern Nebraska and down into Kansas. And this is where the severe stuff's going to likely be in Kansas, down into Arkansas, Oklahoma, northeast Texas tonight. And that'll propagate down towards Louisiana and Mississippi overnight. So kind of we got a little bit of a warm front through here. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So yeah, but a lot of convection going on. Behind that, a lot of cloud cover across northern plains. Some low clouds, keeping it kind of cloudy and overcast out there. Some cloudy conditions there across the northeast and the Great Lakes. Behind this frontal system that's been edging itself towards the east coast. Got a lot of rain showers as you get farther south. There's a little bit of lightning embedded in this. Especially out here in Tennessee and northern Georgia and northern Alabama, and a little bit into the Carolinas, and also a couple of thunderstorms across Florida. So this whole frontal system's slowly moving east, and that'll be pretty much offshore later tonight through tomorrow morning, with some lingering stuff in the Carolinas through the day tomorrow with this activity here. So that's kind of what's going on. Pretty active pattern. So kind of similar to what we said yesterday. So, all right. So here's our surface observations. Hey, they showed up for us. Earlier I couldn't see the severe warning. Um, so yeah, this is down. So this is North Texas here into Oklahoma. I'll zoom out a little bit. We've got some supercells. I mean, so you see the shapes of these. Sometimes they're called screaming eagles. They look like a screaming eagle. That was a word I learned years and years ago. But they just have that shape. So these are the classic supercells that can produce, large hail, damaging winds, and possibly they usually have rotation and they can produce thunderstorm or tornadoes. Not all of them do, but those are what you want to see for those big. EF3, EF4, EF5 tornadoes as the supercells typically are what are going to produce those very strong, powerful, destructive tornadoes, like the one we saw up in Enid a couple days ago. I think it was Thursday. Yeah. So yeah, we got one up here north of. This is Fort Sill, Lawton. What is this place called? Duncan in Oklahoma, and this is over towards Pauls Valley. It's kind of south of Oklahoma City, Purcell. Yeah, so Oklahoma City's to the north of this cell, And we got a couple other cells off here looking like supercells. I got some tornado warnings on these two. This one's got a severe on it. Also down there south of Wichita Falls, they've got a supercell down there with some a tornado warning on that. So um, warning, take shelter, take cover. You know, get in your safe space, get in your basement. Your if you got a tornado shelter, get in it. So yeah, it looks like we got some more. Looks like a supercell down there in parts of Arkansas, south of Fort Smith, and a couple severe storms out here. And then another strong or severe storm up here. Let's see, that's up by Ketchum, so the northeast Oklahoma, near south of Miami. So yeah, and then there's some pretty strong cells. Nothing severe or warnings out on this stuff down in southern Kansas. Looks like one near Wichita, um, the airport there, just to the north of them. A pretty strong or severe storm. They got a severe warning. This was a supercell, and looks like it might have some hail in it. Coming down, moving through Pratt and moving southward. So yeah. So southern Kansas, even up into northern Kansas, there's a couple strong cells with severe warnings, and even up into Nebraska, a couple severe thunderstorm warnings. So, and then this is showers and thunderstorms up here. So some pretty good rainfall. As you get farther north, it's just going to be rain up here. Not a whole lot of thunder with it. It's a little bit too cool. It's in the 40s up here, so seeing quite a bit of rain activity through Minnesota and parts of northern Wisconsin. So that's the main action. That's the most severe action that's going on across the west. There's a good swath of, you know, scattered areas of showers all across like the southern half of California, a little bit in the north too. Parts of Nevada have got some rain showers, same thing in northern New Mexico and northern Arizona, and then a little bit in southern Utah, a little bit out here in northern Colorado and parts of Wyoming. Um, then there's a few, these are probably snow showers. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s, so this stuff, and some of it's probably not reaching the ground. It's pretty weak activity, but there's a few little showers out there, probably mostly snow showers. So yeah, so like I said, that thing's weakening and kind of less activity than yesterday. There's some pretty good thunderstorms out here. Nothing severe, but crossed Tennessee and northern Alabama and northern Georgia there, north of Atlanta. And then these were earlier some thunderstorms. I think they're just showers now across parts of Georgia, even over into southeast Alabama. And then we see a few storms across Florida here. So yeah, so they're getting in on the activity. This is that frontal system. You got a little bit of thunderstorm activity, especially in North Carolina, maybe a little down there in South Carolina. Mostly just rain though, especially out over the Appalachians, the higher country. It looks like they had one severe warning there in Southern Virginia, but a lot of rain. Some pretty, looks like moderate to heavy rain showers moving through parts of Virginia, and pretty rainy, and getting a good swath of rain all through the northeast, up into parts of the northeast and the mid-Atlantic, from Philadelphia, New York City, over into parts of Connecticut and Massachusetts and New York. Pretty good rain, raining good out there, and kind of chilly in the 40s where it's raining up in here, 50s as you head south. So Maine's cleared up like that, and they're having a pretty nice day. I mean, they're in the 50s. I mean, that's not bad for them, I guess, for end of April. So anyways, that's what's going on at the surface. Last but not least, Michigan, and looking pretty good, 40s and 50s out there. Some little bit of cloud cover. Yeah, and then right in this part of the country, the Midwest or Ohio Valley, pretty clear. They're in between systems, so got 60 to 70 degree weather. So, all right, so here we go. Looking at our model forecast here. from the GFS American model. We'll go back in time here. So this is for, so we're going to look at our upper level flow again, kind of reiterate what's going on here so you guys can understand this. So we've got that low up there in Canada. So this is lower, just a general area of troughiness, as we call it, or low pressures, causing all the clouds and precipitation up here. Although it's not, this thing's weakening, but this energy will pick up out here in the Pacific Northwest. And then you see all this energy out here. That's what's causing all them rain showers out through the west here. And then we got this little short wave that's moved into the plains here, supporting that next system with those thunderstorms and that rain. This is kind of the northern end, this wave that's coming around through the Dakotas and Minnesota, supporting that activity that was up here towards the Minnesota down through Nebraska. And then here's what was supporting that front here, coming down from New York all the way down through, this part of the country down here. So a lot of energy. Why these yellows and oranges and reds? That's what we call vorticity, and this is at 500 millibars or 18,000 feet above the sea level. Since you probably won't understand what 500 millibars is unless you're a meteorologist. So, anyways, so as we go through, so this is going through the midday tomorrow. So we see this this was a low pressure. It kind of opens up into what we call open wave, and it's out over the west here, across Utah, Arizona, Southern California, into the, Colorado and New Mexico, even up into Wyoming. And then we see this system up here across the northwest. So this is going to cause some unsettled weather out here across the west in the form of showers. They may get a little thunderstorms start popping up out here as we go through the day. On this system here, you can see it's kind of starting to move out to sea. It kind of lingers over the Carolinas, like I said, so that may keep it going across the Carolinas through the good part of the day. Yeah, so, and then we got this little wave here going through the southeast. That's kind of the remnants of this stuff that's up here in Oklahoma today. So that'll probably kick off a few showers and storms down there, but nothing too severe there. But as we go into the afternoon and evening, you see this. So that main wave, it moves into eastern Colorado, Nebraska, and that's going to support that whole frontal system developing over the Central Plains with the rain and thunderstorms and the severe thunderstorms all across this area. So this is your first big weather maker. This is storm number 2 that will come on its heels a day or two later. So you can see this one's kind of pulling away into Canada. So it's going bye-bye, as I like to say. Then you see this ridge of high pressure kind of extending from eastern Texas, Louisiana, up through, the mid-Mississippi Valley into Tennessee, Kentucky, and all the way through Ohio and the Great Lakes. So this will bring kind of temporarily good conditions out this area for most of this eastern third of the country. There'll still be probably some activity across Florida with this little bit of energy here. This stuff will be moving out to sea, so I think it'll be ending for the Carolinas. This stuff too. So looks like the East Coast, eastern third, anyways, with the exception of maybe Florida, we'll see improving weather for tomorrow. So especially tomorrow night. So. All right, so as we go into Monday, so this is midday Monday, we got this is that system, and it's slowly kicking east. So this is going to drive that system out kind of in this general area through the Midwest and down through, the mid and lower Mississippi Valley, down through Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, over into Indiana and Illinois. So this whole area will be under the gun for severe weather on Monday with this wave. Still looking good out here in the eastern third of the country. Maybe a little bit of energy across Florida, kicking off a few showers or storms. And here's number 2 out here across the west. So that's going to be our next big weather maker for the plains as we go into later in the week, or Tuesday and Wednesday anyways. So here we go. So this energy on Tuesday morning kind of starts to move off to the north, and it goes up and mostly up into Canada by Tuesday afternoon. There's a little bit of lingering stuff over the northeast and the mid-Atlantic by Tuesday afternoon, but you see how quick this is moving. This main wave here is what's going to bring in that severe potential. Um, I think it's going to be more down in this area because the front's going to be laying down through Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, down through the south here, in that general area. And we'll look at the surface, but that's this next wave. And then we see kind of a little temporary reprieve, a little ridge building in across the desert southwest into the Nevada. Um, yeah, and we'll just kind of go through there. This will be our next weather maker as we go in, and this one up here. So these two systems will kind of cause some weather as we go into later in the week. So look at that. So by Thursday, the southwest, and then it moves out into the southern plains by late Thursday into Friday. So that may kick off some more severe weather, especially down here. Then it looks like this will kind of bring a cool down here across the northeastern Great Lakes. So maybe parts of the northern plains. So yeah, from this general section, even the Midwest will cool down probably as we get late in the week. So maybe I'll show you the temperatures real quick. So, but yeah. So as for the surface, we'll just go through Tuesday. Um, just to not make this a 30-minute video again like I did yesterday. So this is like, yeah, what we saw. This is where that rough and tumble severe stuff's going to be across Oklahoma. The worst of the severe will be down here across Oklahoma and northeast Texas into Louisiana and parts of Arkansas. And there's still severe potential through southern Nebraska and eastern Kansas, maybe just clipping parts of Missouri there. But yeah, we'll show you the convective outlook. Here's that next system coming out here. So we got some lingering precip. Yeah. And then you can see this system's moving offshore by Sunday morning. Like I said, there's some lingering stuff across the Carolinas, maybe southern Virginia, early in the day. By the afternoon, it'll probably clear out for the most part. Maybe holding on across South Carolina, but maybe some showers and storms. But yeah, there might be a couple storms across Florida, but nothing too significant. And then here's your low pressure that forms out there in southeast Colorado area into Kansas. So it'll get a little breezy around this system. And this is Sunday. This is where that severe potential is going to be right through here. And I'll show you the convective outlook. On the north end of it, got some rain, even a little bit of snow where it gets colder. Still a lot of precip across the west tomorrow. So with those two separate systems, this one to the north and this one's farther south. So yeah, so this is your big weather maker. So going through Monday night, ongoing storms through the morning, a lot of rain. So pretty wet up here. Maybe some pretty good rains up here through Iowa and Nebraska, even into Minnesota and Wisconsin as the low moves up there. And then this will bring that Monday severe threat from probably maybe even up into southern Wisconsin, down through Iowa, Missouri, down into Arkansas, in this general area. So I'll show you the convective outlook. And then here's number 2 back here across the west again. So it's going to be unsettled across the west through the weekend and through Monday. Tuesday it kind of starts to weaken. So this is Tuesday. So this system shifts to the east, ongoing thunderstorms along this frontal boundary, and so Tuesday you can see that energy moves up here. You still got some lingering showers, maybe a little thunder, not probably much, but right here is where that severe potential is going to be on Tuesday. You had that little bit of energy I showed you that was supporting that was out through here. So yeah, and that's kind of going to be your focus area through Tuesday across parts of the south. So Southern Plains to the south. So, yep. All right. So we'll take a look at the convective outlook. So they've got a really pretty high, a moderate, almost the highest risk level over southeast Oklahoma there, but good chunk of Oklahoma, especially the eastern halves under the gun big time. Northern Texas, northeast Texas, watch out even into Shreveport and over into eastern Arkansas and up and through Kansas, Wichita area, and then up into southern Nebraska a little bit. Looks like it'll clip parts of southwest Missouri a little bit. So that's for rest of tonight through the early morning hours. And as we go into Sunday, I don't think these ones will be as crazy. There'll still be warnings and stuff and whatnot. Here's your tornado risk for tomorrow. Right over Kansas, southern Nebraska, down through Oklahoma. Pretty good wind and hail threat too. So, but yeah, from Nebraska, southern Nebraska, most of eastern Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, basically the central and southern plains, down through parts of Louisiana, Mississippi. So this area will be under the gun on Sunday. I forgot to show you something for today, the rest of tonight. Really good tornado threat. Look at that, man. From like Oklahoma City southward to, maybe just north of Dallas, Fort Worth, close to Shreveport, or maybe just to their northwest, and then parts of eastern Arkansas. That's your tornado threat. Pretty good wind. If that, here we go. Here's the wind and hail threat. So yeah, very good, very good high wind and hail, especially hail threat. So, and that's because of those supercells that we were seeing that I was telling you about. So day 3, so it'll shift. So Kansas City, their best chance will be Sunday, but for tomorrow it's mainly going to be over towards St. Louis, so the eastern parts of Missouri. They'll be under the gun up into Iowa, Des Moines, parts of Chicago, and then Indianapolis, and down through Kentucky and Tennessee, even parts of the South here, northern Alabama, northern Georgia, and out through Arkansas. So yeah, watch out. That's Monday, so another threat of severe. And then Tuesday they've got an area, and that's as far as it goes. After that, it probably a week. That was that area I was telling you about from the Arklatex down here. This is the Arklatex, this area, into Arkansas and up through Tennessee, into Alabama and Mississippi, northern Louisiana, so northeast Texas again. So yeah, so the South will be under the gun on Tuesday. After that, there's not much confidence. It looks like like that system moves east, and I think it's not going to be a lot of threat for severe. So, but we'll see how it evolves as we get into over the next couple days. Tomorrow and Monday, see how that evolves for Wednesday if we are going to see any severe threat to the east. But right now, it's not looking very favorable. So yeah, that's about it. I made it 23 minutes. Let's show you the temperatures real quick, just to show you what's going on with that. This is the max temperatures. So you got a little cool down up here across the northern plains here. That's into Sunday and Monday, and across the northern Rockies. Looks like it warms up back across the northeast as you go through the week. And then here, see, so the cooler air kind of pushes this way towards Thursday. So Friday, so kind of like what I was saying, it looked like that this general area was going to be where it's going to be cool as we go into Thursday. It only goes to Thursday right now. Thursday and Friday, this part of the country, a little bit cooler, cool down from, what they'll have at the beginning of the week, which is, seeing those 70s and 80s, at least through this part of the country. So anyways, that's all I've got. Sorry, I'm having some allergy issues. My eyes are itching. So I appreciate y'all. And please like and subscribe if you like these videos and support us. I try to, my goal is to teach people about weather. There's channels out there that hype it up and, they're all high speed, and that's not what I'm about. I'm about educating you, and they educate you there too, I'm sure, a little bit. But I'm about educating you, and if you have children or grandchildren that are interested in science or meteorology and want to know more about this, invite them to check out my videos. So I try to keep them clean, so they're children friendly, but I can't check on the box when I create videos that's made for children because this isn't like a cartoon or something, and there's a lot of strict things with that, so I'm not going to do that. But invite them to check it out, and you can view it with them or view it before you have them watch it, just to make sure you're okay with what they're seeing. So hey, I appreciate y'all. This is Wixman Ray out.